Bulbs B1, B2, B3 are connected as shown in the adjacent figure. Which of the following statements are true about the power outputs W1, W2, W3 of these bulbs? So as you can see, these bulbs are of a specific wattage, but these wattages are denoted at 220 volts. So what we have to do here is we have to find the resistance, and then we have to find how much wattage or how much power consumption will take place. First of all, let's solve for R1, which is equal to 220 into 220 upon 40. This is also the case for R2. And then we have R3, which is 220 into 220 upon 60. I'll just leave it this way and then solve further. Now, when this resistance, whatever this resistance is, R2 is here and R3 is here, the potential difference that they get can be written as V1 upon R1 equal to V2 upon R2. So V1 upon V2, or simply we can write it as V1 is equal to V1 minus, V total minus V1, R1 here and R2 here. Can this be solved out for V1? So you can see V1 upon R1 plus V1 upon R2 is equal to V upon R2. Finally, we can write it as V1 gives you the value of V upon R2 multiplied by R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. This is quite a solution, but this will come in handy in this above situation. So V1 can be written in this extended long manner, and as you can see, the first bulb that is getting the whole of the 220 volts as its potential or as its terminal will obviously have the greatest uh, amount of heat produced. So the answer cannot be C, the answer cannot be D. And then when we compare these two, let's just talk about the resistances. So the resistance is obviously inversely proportional to your power consumption. So R1 is smaller than R1 is greater than R2. R3, my bad. R1 is greater than R3. And if R1 is greater than R3 and the current in both of these terminals are going to be same, both of these bulbs, the current is going to be same. The one that gets greater heat produced is the one that gets the greater resistance. So if R1 is greater in this scenario, or R2 is greater in this scenario, R1 and R2 are similar. So heat produced will also be greater than in the bulb 2. So A should be your answer. This approach can be used to solve out the exact value of heat produced. You can now use it to solve heat produced in R2 or R1, whichever you want, and you can write it as V1 squared upon R1, and that will give you the value. So if you do want to check out the solution, you can do it yourself.